Assume the product of such dense urban living, recently rediscovering capitalism, will be a bit flummoxed over universal values. The moral compass has gone missing for many in modern China, so our assumptions about how things are supposed to work are out the window. Konnichiwa and welcome to the Leadership Japan series, and I am your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. If you enjoy the program, then please subscribe on iTunes and leave us a review. We would love to hear what you think about the series. How would you like your own access to 103 years of the accumulated wisdom of Dale Carnegie Training? Get our free report, Stop Wasting Money on Training, How to Get the Best Results from Your Training Budget, plus our free white papers, guidebooks, reports, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, plus much more at japan.dalecarnegie.com. Today is episode 98 on Chinese tourist tsunami stress. You know you've adjusted to Japan when you get totally annoyed by visiting Chinese tourist behavior. This is the latest incarnation of the 1950s ugly American and the bubble era ugly Japanese phenomenon. Remember all of those provincial Japanese tourists roaming the planet in the late 1980s? The nouveau riche Chinese are now spreading around the globe, busily devouring the sights, sounds, and tastes of different worlds. The OECD calculated there were 157 million middle-class Chinese in 2009. They expect this number will grow to over 1 billion in 15 years' time. Multiply the numbers of Chinese tourists visiting Japan by at least a factor of 6, and we will live in interesting times. Shop entry points are favourite gathering spots for multitudes of wheeled luggage-bearing continental tourists, especially when it's raining. On nicer days, sprawling out on the sidewalk in front of gorgeous Ginza boutiques seems natural when you're so tired from all that vigorous shopping. Get used to your calm conversation with the shop clerk being overridden by 34, 34, 34, as a determined shopper yells out the size they want in this item they are brandishing in front of your face. Speaking of yelling, get used to lots and lots of yelling. Japan went through the same growth spurt as well, thanks to the 1985 Plaza Accord, driving the yen to stratospheric strength, and the rest of the world was one big tourist bargain. The difference this time is probably the sheer volume of people coming from China. In the depths of last winter, I was amazed to see so many Chinese tourists enjoying the deep snow in Shiragawa-ko, way up in the back blocks of Mie Prefecture. Any place you care to name, with the exception of the Senkakus, is on the trail now, and we can all expect to be bumping into this tourist horde more often. You'll most likely get annoyed because, like me, you are used to dealing with considerate, reserved, polite, quietly spoken Japanese who are refinement personified. Are we going to change this situation anytime soon? No. Money talks, and Chinese tourists really spend up big. They will just keep coming in waves as more of the wealthy get out and see the world. So, we had better change. Here is your handy stress management guide to dealing with the Middle Kingdom in your backyard. Cooperate with the inevitable. The Chinese government are educating their tourists to behave better when overseas. This will take decades though, so just observe the phenomenon and don't expect any relief anytime soon. Decide just how much anxiety a thing may be worth and refuse to give it more. Yes, there will be regular annoyances, but don't let them pile up and keep bugging you. Give yourself a time limit on how long you're going to allow these tourists to upset you, then just mentally move on. Expect ingratitude. Assume the product of such dense urban living, recently rediscovering capitalism, will be a bit flummoxed over universal values. The moral compass has gone missing for many in modern China, so our assumptions about how things are supposed to work are out the window. The language factor will reduce subtleties to the most basic, which, by the way, won't include please, after you, thank you, or I am sorry in any language. Count your blessings, not your troubles. Yes, rude tourist behaviour is annoying, but remember, we have so much going for us here. The focus should be on enjoying the great things about Japan and dealing with those few moments when we meet the upwardly mobile proletarian masses face to face. Don't fuss with trifles. Yelling, hustling, breaking the rules, dressed like fashion victims, etc., does draw attention to the interruption of harmony here. But we need to keep this in perspective. We have more important things to occupy our thoughts than petty annoyances like these. Use the law of averages to outlaw your worries. How much time do you actually spend at tourist spots anyway? There are many areas in Japan where you can go and not bump into bumpkins. In a whole year, your total exposure to the tourist tsunami will be pretty small, even if it feels intense at the time. If it all gets too much, Dale Carnegie's classic, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, is probably more useful reading than a Mandarin phrasebook. So look for more stress-managed principles there. Good luck! Action steps from today. 1. Cooperate with the inevitable. 2. Decide just how much anxiety a thing may be worth and refuse to give it more. 3. Expect ingratitude. 4. Count your blessings, not your troubles. 5. Don't fuss with trifles. 6. Use the law of averages to outlaw your worries. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please subscribe on iTunes and leave us a review. Remember to access your Dale Carnegie training, free reports, white papers, guidebooks, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, plus much, much more, then go to japan.dalecarnegie.com.